Okay, so before I think the recording has started now. So do we have is there anything that is not clear? Document library and list that we did yesterday. We'll not be doing a recap because the recorded video has already been uploaded. So we can access it. However, we'll still continue from the foundation we built on yesterday. So, but if there are questions around what we have done, or clarity that might be needed, we can go ahead and ask. So I assume that we are good. So today is the day 4. So I want to say I can wrap up in 1 hour 30 minutes so that we can use the other 30-50 minutes to look at some other or to take questions. So a few things that we've not done over the course of the training on SharePoint, I'm going to try to also bring that in today. So, but we'll have an interesting discussion. We so far looked at how to create document library and folders, and we want to look at a few things where we're going to look at how to share files. Okay, if you look at the link I shared with us yesterday, where we uploaded different files, you see that you have the option to delete files uploaded by others. So we're going to see how we can create what we refer to as custom permissions. So custom permissions or custom SharePoint groups is something that allows you to limit what users can do aside what is already available in SharePoint. So we're going to see that today as well. That's why this was not discussed. Okay. Then on alert, we have to demonstrate that already. Then we're also going to see the Microsoft list, which was not mentioned yesterday. And that's where we're going to start today before going on to discuss the other discussion for today. So quickly, I have my user, where is the user? So I have Alex. So Alex has, make use of this and decided to say, okay, he also wants to have his own list. Okay, now that option is available via the Microsoft list feature. So if you click on these 9 dots and we don't have it here, so we can go to more apps, allow that to load, and then come on, let's close that. Still don't see that here. Okay, this is it, list. Okay, so this list is different from the list in SharePoint in the sense that this list is for user, while the other one is for SharePoint. So this list stores the data in the user's OneDrive. Okay, so if you take note of the URL, you can see personal in the URL. Okay, so it's simply saying that this list is going to be in Alex OneDrive. Okay, compared to the other list, this leave request, if I click on it, I think this still has permission. You can see it says sites Zurara Voj list. Okay, so this list is in SharePoint. This list is in OneDrive. Okay, and they are both lists, but this is referred to as SharePoint list. Okay, although it's same feature, and this is Microsoft list. Okay, but the same template. Okay, so if you want to refer to a list that exists in a site, you just call it SharePoint list. If you want to refer to a list in a OneDrive, you can just call it Microsoft list. Okay, but if you say list, it could be any of the two. Okay, so this is Alex. He has the new list button and then clicks on new list, and then you can try to pick from template that we have. I think Alex being the one who handles the leave no, not leave request, the orders. So he wants to be able to have a record of all the assets. So he's creating a sample here. Okay, so we have been given this as a preview. So let's click on use template. Then the name is asset manager, and let's use this color here. Then click on create. If you understand up to this point, give me a thumbs up. Who is saying you can't see my screen? I think you might want to leave and join again. So I'm going to stop screen share, and then I'll share again. Okay, so if you can see my screen now, please give me a thumbs up. I just stop share and share again. So if you can see, give me a thumbs up. Okay, okay, thank you. So what we just did now is creating a list. So I'll do that again with this user here, Adele. So I'll go to my 9 dots and I'll look for Microsoft list. It's not here. So I'll go to more apps. Okay, as explained yesterday, the list feature or the list app in SharePoint, it's a feature that allows you to more like build a database. Okay, this list can be a backend for Microsoft applications or Canva apps built with Power Apps. Okay, and from there, users can, have an interface. You could also even connect your list to a Microsoft form. Okay, so you have the option to connect your list to Microsoft Form as well. And so somebody was talking about the save tool. So this save tool here allows you to change the location. By default, it saves to your OneDrive, but you probably the list needs to be created and shared with other users that are on a particular site. So the site you have permission to be listed here, and you just click on that site. Let's use our site. Okay, it says show in site navigation. Of course, yes. I'll click on create. Okay, so that is what that save to does. Allows you to change where the list will be created. Okay, and what that means is that the list, what's happening? I hope this guy or this lady has permission um, to that list. Okay, so if you look at the URL, you can see it's different, and if you look at this, you can see it's different. So this Alex should not say he's looking for his list on SharePoint. Okay, for instance, saying that let me go to that SharePoint site. I'll just copy this URL. I hope Alex has permission to that, I suppose. Okay, so if you look at this, you can see reading list. Okay, and Alex does not have his asset manager here, and the simple reason is because this is more like a personal list, but this is a shared list. Okay, reading list. Okay, so that is that I wanted to show us on Microsoft list. And then of course, want to look at today's discussion. This is my recording. Don't distract me today. I need to hide it. I will keep it somewhere here. Okay. So today we're going to look at the Microsoft 365 group access. We're going to create a SharePoint security group that will be used to play around permissions, and we're going to demonstrate that as well. So basically, core of our work of our task today is administrative activities that are being carried out, that can be carried out on SharePoint sites, and what the implications are. Okay, so we're going to basically do all of that in SharePoint. So earlier we looked at private and public team or group by demonstrating that in a public group, even if um, you are not given access to it, you can access it as an admin. Okay, but a private group is not going to allow you to do that. Okay, unless you go and add yourself as a site owner to the group. You cannot join a private team or group in SharePoint. Then there is also a permission that is called everyone except external user. So if for instance, if you look at the site that we created, let me go to the site quickly. Okay, so so we have our site. Now, if we go to the members page, let's quickly look at that. Site information, site permission is already there. Let's click on it. So we have the members, owners, and visitors. If I open the members, I should have these two users. Okay. So if at any point there's probably a change in policy and the company says you want this site to be available to all users. Okay. So the option to do that is to look for that anyone, or as I said anyone, everyone except SNI user. Okay, it's a way to automatically just add what is it called? You can see everyone except SNI users. Okay, it says all users per tenant. So once you just click on it, all the users in organization will be invited. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate this quickly. So let's remove Alex from this site. So I'll go to actions. Okay, remove user from group. So if a user had permission, this is how you can remove the user from the group. And then to check and see all users that has permission to this site, on this URL, you need to change this to 0. Okay, I'm going to paste that for us so that we have it. Change the group ID to 0. Okay, so I change the group ID to 0. I can see that Alex still has some kind of permission here. Party has, Pradeep has, everyone, these, all users. So let's see what permission does Alex has on this site. Okay, so you have the option to also see that. So let's go back to the permissions page. Let me just go back quickly. I hope that is fast enough. Okay, let's still have that page so that we can. So I'll just duplicate this. So let's go back to the permissions page. My network is, I think it's responding now. So let's go back to the site permissions page. Remember, what we are doing now is at the site level, which I'm going to look at later on, various permission levels and how you can break their flows. Okay, so if I click on this here, so this is how you check if a user has permission to a site. Okay, so you can see the URL for that as well. It takes you there directly, and you, for any site, just add that line and it takes you directly to the site permissions page. Okay, so if I click on check permissions, I can type Alex and click on check now. Okay, so you can see permission level given to Alex, it says none. It says none. Okay, so you can see that this user no longer has permission to this site. However, if I go to my group. I still have it listed. I still have him listed there. But he doesn't have permission any longer to the site. Okay, so what's the experience for the user? Let's go to Alex. Let's just refresh the site. Okay, so it says you need permission to access this list. Okay, I think we're accessing a list, which is a sub item within the site. Okay, it says you need permission to access this site. Okay, so why is that so? Because we just removed Alex from the site, or remove permission of Alex from the site. Okay, so but uh, this guy, we want to add this to have want to assign this user a permission. So if I go to where is it now? Grant permission. I can now put in everyone except external user. Okay, so let me see if I can choose a permission level for everyone. So this everyone except external user, I want it to be like read. Okay, so that means Alex will be able to see the site, but won't be able to probably add file. Okay, the same thing will apply to all users. So I'm going to choose that. Okay, read, which is a permission level. We're going to discuss that after this. Now we can see this file, this site has been shared with everyone except external user. Now the question is, what is everyone? Of course, is referring to all users within these tenants, okay, or the organization. So let's see what the behavior is for Alex. So what it says, it says, sorry, you don't have access. And it now gives the user the option to request access. Okay, but that's not what we want to do. Okay, we want to give this user permission to the site. So to fix this, I need to go to this and remove Alex completely. Okay, so let's remove Alex from this, and then let's so but this setting does not affect a site that is connected to Teams. Okay, so I think I'm going to discuss that, but let me, since I've raised this up now. So if you have currently this site that we have built does not connect to Microsoft Teams, but if you have a site that is connected to Microsoft Teams, then you shouldn't be coming here. You don't have anything to do here. Once you have a site connected to Microsoft Teams, it simply means that every permission on that site should be managed in the Microsoft Teams. Okay, because if you remove a user, blah blah blah, as long as the user is a member of that team, the what is it called, the cron job will automatically undo whatever it is that you have done. Okay, so if this site, for instance, is a team site and you remove a user from the site, from this portal here, because on the team service, that user is a member of the site. So automatically the user will appear again, or the user will still have permission, even though the user has been removed from the site. Okay, so I think we have removed Alex from this from this list now. Let's see what the behavior is for Alex. She says, what am I accessing? Is it site or library? Let's see. Okay. So now Alex has permission to this site. However, let's see what he can do. So let's go to this our document library. Okay. So look at so we are so limited. Where's my Excel sales file? I think I had it here. I don't know. Let's see. So this is a user that has an edit permission. This is a user that has a read permission. Okay. I don't know. My sales this thing, I can't find it again. Okay, so on what we have now, we can see that this user has limited permission to what he can. So by clicking now, you can see says share copy link. Click on the three dots. Look at what I have. Download, copy, properties. Okay, but this other user here, let's click on the user. Okay, click on the three dots. So you can see this user has more what is it called? More options on the file. You can delete, you can move, you can rename. Okay, but let's see a document. This guy cannot even create a document, so that we can test with. Okay, but Alex, sorry, this user has the option to create. Okay, why is that so? Let's look at it here. So permission levels. Okay, if you look at the slide, I think the next slide, access request. Okay, I think I skipped that already, but I'll come back. So if you look at next slide, it talks about permission level. So that's what we want to see now. Okay, so if I click on permission levels, so it pulls up the 5 permission levels in SharePoint. So these are the default permission levels, okay, that SharePoint has. Okay, these are not SharePoint groups. Okay, these are not groups, but permission levels. Okay, if you go back to the slide, you can see we have the groups and the permission levels they have. Okay, so we have approvers, designers, hierarchy manager, the site name members. For instance, what's our site name? Zarara members, site name owner, for instance, Zarara owner, site name visitor, for instance, Zarara visitor. Then you have restricted readers, style resource. These are all SharePoint groups, and these groups do not exist outside SharePoint. And then we have what is called permission levels. Permission levels, and this applies to team sites, and these are focus. Okay, the edit, full control, and read. So if we come back here, we can see the edit, we can see the read, we can see the full control. Okay, and if you look at what we have here, you can see the various permissions or features that it provides. Okay, so now why is Alex not able to add file? Because the everyone except external user that we added, we gave it the permission of, let me show us the permission we gave that user. Someone is asking if it's a group. Yes, the everyone except external user is a group. Okay, it's a group, it's a default group in SharePoint. Okay, you can't it's hidden, you can't delete it. So I want to check that everyone with except external user, just to emphasize what we are doing. So click on that, click on check now. Okay, so it says read. Okay, our focus is this left part, read. Okay, so the user has read, and it says can view pages, list items, and download documents. And that's why you can see that the user had the option to download. Okay, and then Adele had the permission level of edit. She can add, edit, delete list, can create views and all of that on the site. That's why she had a different permission. Then you have the full control. Full control, of course, can do everything. Okay. Now that takes us to our next section, which is access request. Okay, access request. So to demonstrate that, we're going to remove that everyone except external user. Okay, so let's go back to our permissions page. Let's cancel that. So let's click on this show items here. See some content list has different permissions level, what you can see. So you're going to see those um, libraries I shared with us. Okay, I shared this earlier with some of us, and it allows you, with this you can click on manage permissions to see for Vogue. Okay, and play around that as well for that user. Okay, but mind you, this whatever you do here is going to affect that Vogue document library. Okay, and if you see here, it says delete unique permission. Okay, so we're going to see that how to arrive at that as we go along. Okay, so we want to remove that permission from that side. So I'll just remove this here. Just click on this, go to actions, and just delete. And then I can go back to this page and just refresh. Okay, says you need permission to access this list. Why does it go to list? I want to access the site. Okay, so I can say IT, this is urgent. Okay, so I have the button here request access. Request access. Okay, so that is a feature in SharePoint that if you storm on an error, you have the option to request access. So the access request feature in SharePoint is a feature that allows a user who previously does not have permission to a site to be able to request permission to be giving him or her for that site. Now, once that request access is made, the um, the site owner receives a notification in his email. So I'll go to this user's email, which is Outlook, to see that. Okay, so this is the email. It says you can see the message I sent as well, or Alex sent in his request. Come on. Okay, so it says action required. You have a pending access request requested by Alex, requesting access to it brings the site with a link. So I may want to look at this bottom corner here to see the URL so that I can know the site, the reason. You can see there. Then what group would you like to add Alex? Okay, so when you request access, you have the option to be added as a member or as a visitor. So Alex has been forgiven. So we want to elevate him back to the edit. Let's leave him as read because I said that's something I want to do. Let's leave him as read. So let's click on approve. Okay, so Alex has been added to the site and has been given the read permission. Okay, so if I go back here and let's refresh. Come on. Okay, so now Alex is back. He has access to the site. He can smile again. He can access all the lists and libraries on the site. Okay, so that is access request for you. So if I go to my leave request, you can see Alex is able to read the items. Okay, but he can't do any other thing. Okay, he can't do any other thing. He can only read. Now, before I leave this session, on the SharePoint page, you have the option to choose. Where's my permissions page? I think I need to go back. So I'll just copy this URL, the one I shared on the chat. I want to go back to the site. So I'll just duplicate this because I'll still come back here and just paste that. Okay, so if I click on access request settings, access request settings. Okay, so you can see the feature you have here. So for instance, you have the option to allow members to share the site and individual files and folders. So that means they see the share option. Then it says allow members to invite others to the site members group, which is this group. So this testing must be enabled to let members share the site. Okay. Then we have the option for allow access request. Select who will receive all access requests on this site. Of course, I have a site owner. So maybe for reasons site owner is on leave, I can now click on email address and put in I don't know our email, but we can put in another user and the user will be able to approve all of that. So you put in the email here and then you click on OK. Then if, for instance, you are trying to notify your users, so on the request access page, if you want to give them a particular message that they should see, this is where you can type them. Sorry, this site is undergoing maintenance and we do not want to have our work undone. We are temporarily restricting permission. Please bear with us. From January 1st, 2025, this will become available to you. So that constant message, you can put that here so that users are aware or get to be informed in a way when they access the site. Okay. So before we move on, are we good? Am I making sense? I'm making sense. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, so thus far we have been looking at permissions, and we'll continue to look at permissions in this first half of this class. In the second half, we'll look at SharePoint administration and in much detail, where we're going to look at some configurations and what impact they have. Okay. So the last row we have here is SharePoint inheritance. Okay. In SharePoint, we have what is called inheritance. That is a parent-child relationship. Okay. You know, in SharePoint, you have your site, and then you have your sub-sites, and then you have your um, list, and then you have your document library. So if, for instance, you have a site that you have created, and within that site, there's a specific document library that you don't want, you want it to have its own permission. Okay, that's why it's usually called unique permission. Okay, it's either a site inherits permission or it has unique permission. Okay, so when we talk about SharePoint inheritance, it's either a site inherits permission or it has its unique permission. Now, there is a caveat in the sense that if you have, I told us that SharePoint stores the items in an SQL server. So if you have a library or a folder that has 10,000 items, or sorry, 100,000 items, then you will discover that when you are trying to break permission, it's not going to allow you. The simple reason is because of that number of items, not any other thing. Okay, and the only fix there is to move out some items from that side. There's nothing else other than to move items from that side. So when a folder or a list or library contains more than 100,000 items, then you can't break, you not be able to see the option to break the permission inheritance for that list, document library, or folder. Okay, so a parent is the top level app or item in a SharePoint site collection. Okay, so for instance, if you have a sub-site, a document library, and a list, okay, the parent obviously is the SharePoint site that holds all of these things together. For instance, our Zurara site has, I think it has a sub-site. Let's go to site content and let's see. Let's click on sub-sites. Okay, so you can see I have a sub-site. So this site has, this Zurara site has a sub-site and has a document or three document libraries. This is 1, 2, 3, and it has 1, 2, 3 lists. Okay, so the parent is this. Currently, this site has been designed, or rather, the items or sub items on this Zurara site currently inherits the permission from Zurara. Okay, if I click on this site and I copy it, you can see the URL. It has site, the parent site, and then the name of the um, sub-site. So if I copy this site and I paste it to either Alex or what is her name, Ms. Vance, you observe that they are able to access the site even though it has not been shared directly with them. The simple reason is because of inheritance. The simple reason is because of inheritance. This guy still has that crazy read permission to the site. Okay, still read permission to the site. So all of that permission has been cascaded down. Okay, so what is making this possible? Because of inheritance. Okay, so now we want to demonstrate um, um, unique permission. Okay, we want to demonstrate unique permission. So what does that mean? It means that it's possible for a site sorry, it's possible for a sub-site, a list or document to have its own permission aside from the parent site. Now, unique permission is not only applicable to sub-sites, um, list and document library. Okay, you also have that in folders. Okay, you observed yesterday when I shared the where am I? Okay, I'm on the shared document. No, I want to go back to the Zurara document library. So let's click on that. So on this Zurara document library, remember we had some folders. Some of us were able to access. I think I shared the. I think it was this strawberry folder I shared, and we're able to upload different items. Okay, no, I think I shared strawberry. Yeah, to be able to upload different items to this site. I was expecting somebody to add a movie, but or a movie series. We don't have it. So basically, you observe that when that link was given to you and you open it, you are only able to see one folder. Whereas in this Zurara, we had all of these folders. Okay, we had all of these folders. Okay, I don't know why this sales is not visible in. Do we see? I think okay. I think we still have the check in, check out on this site. Okay, okay. So I think that explains why. Okay, so when I share this with you, you're able to see only the strawberry and you're able to add file. Then when I shared, I think vanilla also some of us could not add anything because I did not I shared in the permission I chose the view permission instead of edit. Okay, so all of this demonstrate the power of SharePoint in terms of permission. So the last part I want to show us is this inheritance. Okay, in terms of permissions in SharePoint. Okay, inheritance. It's that powerful that you can have in an organization. You have um, you can set permissions so that all department heads, okay, all department heads have access to a particular document library or a particular or have a certain level of permission they can carry out when they access the site, whereas their subordinates may have limited permissions. Okay, so that is basically what we are trying to demonstrate, and the time is not on our side, so I'm going to run straight into that. So we're looking at again SharePoint inheritance. SharePoint inheritance. So I want to create another document library, or should I? Let's just use this one. Let's just use this one. Okay, so we have this file. Let's confirm that it's accessible by these other users as well. I did not include the link for the parent site on the sub site. So come on, what's happening? So let's see. Okay, they can access the site. Okay, they can access the site. They can access the site. So we want to now prevent that. Okay, we want to prevent that. So if I go to so okay, I'm there. So this is the document library and see it here. So if I click on this settings gear, I'll go to the library settings. Okay, not site permissions. Okay, I'll go to library settings. For list, you go to list settings, more library settings. Then it's going to open the library settings page. Then I'll come to this page, permissions for this document library. Okay, permissions for this document library. So I've clicked on it. Okay. My site already has unique permissions. My document library. So it says delete unique permission. So I think I was trying to manage save my time. So it's okay. So I'll just quickly create a site. Just wanted to demonstrate that. So I'll just go to site contents. Somebody should suggest a name for the site. So I'll click on new site. Okay, I'm not seeing any name, so let's use Zurara DU. And the URL, of course, is going to be same thing. Okay. Now it says user permission. Use same permission as parents. That is inheritance. Okay. Use unique permission. Okay, that is breaking that option for the user. Okay, so let's click on. So then display this site on quick launch of the parents. Yes, I want to have that. Display this site on top link of the parent site. Yes, so let's click on create. So once it's created, we should see the site here. Okay. So it's because we have set the unique permission. So it's creating its own group. So it's create a new group. Of course, you're going to have the site name, which is Zuraru DU visitors, Zuraru DU members, Zuraru DU owners. Okay, and currently I have the admin as member and owner. So let's add who should I add? Visitor. Okay, so let's use Alex here as a visitor. So I'll just type Alex and click on this check name. Okay, so it's able to pull up that for me. Just click on OK. Mind you, Vance or Miss Vance was not given permission to this document library, but Alex was given permission, though was given the read permission. Or maybe I should just give him there's no time. Let's just test this out. So let's go back to the parent site. Okay, so on the parent side, we'll have our sub site, we'll have the Zuraru DU, which was the option that we selected, that the sub site should be visible on the link. So let's go to our users and let's refresh. Okay, let's click on that. So this is Alex. He is able to see sub site and can click on the sub site and is able to access Zuraru Do. Let's see for Miss Vance. Okay, Miss Vance has sub site. Click on it. Okay, it doesn't give the Miss Vance like a drop down as you have for Do. So, but you can see what is it called? IMOC or IMOT. Okay, so that is what happens when you break inheritance. Okay, so you can have maybe this Zurarodu. I've given my site a difficult name. Okay, so this site could be for marketing only, and this guy is in marketing, so he's able to see the soft site, and this site is maybe for this user, and he's able to see the soft site. Okay, so but of course this is not unique. This inherited from the parents. Okay. Lastly, on this, I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. Unfortunately, I can't go over it again because it's recorded and our time is running. Okay. So, but that is how we can set up site inheritance or SharePoint inheritance in SharePoint. So the last we want to look at, which will take us to the next part of our discussion. Let me see if I've covered everything here. Okay. Yeah. So the last we want to look at is that now that we have added Alex. Okay, Alex has read permission to that site. Okay. Now we want to allow Alex to have edit permission. Of course, not on the sub site, but the main site. We're already there. This is the main site. So, but I don't want it to be able to delete. So all I need to do is just to click on this edit. How do I get to this permission level? Let me just go over that quickly. So from this my main site, I'll click on, because I want to give Alex permission to the site, not the document library. So I'll click on this list. I'll go to site permissions from here, then advanced permission settings. Okay. Now I can now go to permission levels. Okay. Now I'll just click on this edit. Then I'll go to the bottom. I'll look at this copy permission level. I'll click on copy permission level. So by so doing, I've copied the edit permission. Okay, so I'll now give it a name. No, I'll give it a name, edit cannot delete. So I'm going to look for anything that has to do with delete. Okay, edit items, delete items. Okay. Delete version. Everything that has to do with delete, I'm going to remove it. Browse, use, view. Okay. Client, open, edit, add or remove web path, and check that. Update personal web path, and check that. I'll click on create. Now the implication is that we have upgraded the permission for, I didn't add a description. So let me see if I can still do that. So the implication is that I want to upgrade. And there to copy. And there to copy this guy here. Sorry. Time is always running. So what we don't want this delete, and we don't want this as well. Okay, so I just save that. Okay, so we can see we have a new permission. So how do we now assign it to that user? So we'll go back to our permissions page, and then we'll click on this grant permissions. We can't add the user to any of those groups. If we add the user to any of the group, the user will inherit the permission from the group. The user is already a visitor, which has a read permission. So we want to add Alex to the entire site and want to give him not edit. Edit cannot delete. Okay, that's the custom permission we want assigned to that user. So let's go ahead and share. Okay, now that we have done that, let's see what this user can now do. Let's refresh. Okay, let's go to any of the document libraries. Okay, you can't edit this. This is no. Let's go to that other site. This site has, I think we implemented content and approval on that site. Should be able to access this. Okay, so this user has permission to no. This site is checked in. It's checked out. No? What's happening? Let's just go to our list and let's go to the others list. So add new item. Those for Praveen, Pradeep. It's urgent. Save. So you can see Alex now has permission with the custom permission that we have created. But now he can edit, but he can I've made a mistake and wants to probably delete what he has added. Okay. There is nothing like delete. Okay, there is nothing like delete. Whereas this user here can go to that where is it? Others. And is able to she's able to click on where is it? Click on that and she can see the option to delete simply because of permission. So with this, we'll close the curtain on permissions in SharePoint. Okay, we'll close the curtain on permissions in SharePoint. Any question? Is there something that is not looking like that is not clear before we move on? Okay, so let's move on. So let's look at some. So now I want to look at administration of the entire site. So let's go to the SharePoint admin portal and let's see the options that we have on the SharePoint admin portal. So go to my all users, click on SharePoint. Okay, so this is SharePoint admin portal. If I go to my active site, I'm able to see sites that are currently active on this account. Okay, and we can see, you should see our Zurara site at the bottom. Okay, so I can click on it here to manage permissions at this level as well by going to membership. Okay, I can add site visitors, members, owners, or even site admins. And then I can delete, or I can go to settings and minimize the permissions for this this site. Okay, so you have that option that you can do. Then if I go to deleted site, I'm able to see the sites that I've deleted. Okay, this is just one site, and I can see the option to restore. Whenever we don't see the option to permanently delete, it means that the site is connected to a Microsoft 365 group. Okay, it means that it's connected to a Microsoft 365 group. Okay, so moving on to policies and sharing. Okay, policies and sharing. Okay, if you come here, you have the option to modify the permissions that users have. This setting affects all users in your organization. Okay, with this this option, if I save, it means that when users are sharing files, whether in OneDrive or in SharePoint, they can only see the options for only people in your organization. Let's save that and let's check that in the next 1 minute. So let's go to our document library and let's see this at work. So if I click on share for Alex, I said Alex, for Vance, click on settings. Okay, so you can see people in Yes Tech Solutions, only people with existing access, and then you have people you choose. But in all of this, it has to be someone within the organization. So I think people you choose now, and probably type in a Gmail. These are all users within my account. Let's look for a Gmail or maybe a Yahoo. Just some random email. It's not valid. Just click on it. It says you can only share within your organization. This is in SharePoint. Okay, this is in SharePoint. If you go to OneDrive, let's go to my files. This guy, okay, let's just use this. Click on share. This for Alex. This is his own OneDrive, not SharePoint. He owns the OneDrive, but due to organization policy, he cannot share with external users. Okay, so you can see the same error. Okay, the same error. So that is one. So you can modify that setting to limit what users can, what users can ability that they have when sharing. So you can see also, you can try to move this up and you see that it's not going to move. Okay, why? This is dependent on this. Okay, if this can go a step further, this can go. If this can go a step further, this can also go. Okay, if you like, look for hammer and drag it, it's not going to move. because it's dependent on this. If this goes further, this can go. Okay, that also helps us to drive in the point that SharePoint, or rather, OneDrive is housed by SharePoint. Okay, and so these are different levels that you have. If you set it to this, okay, or rather, how it was before. I think, yeah, that is still, we have not saved it, so that's how it was. If you go back to active site and go back to our Zurara site and go to settings, you see that this also has been updated to only people in your organization. Grayed out. Why? Because of that policy, sharing policy. Okay, so so that's how that affects sharing. Then one more thing we want to look at. Let me return this so I can see the. I'm not seeing the feature. So let's return this so that we can be able to see the feature I'm looking for. Okay, so one more feature I want us to look at here before we leave this page is more external sharing settings. More external sharing settings. You can use this option to limit external sharing by domain. Maybe you want to only share with what is it called? All GT domains or all UBA domains or all First Bank domains. You just click on add domain. So as long as that user has that domain, it will allow them to share. Okay, so you can test this on your end and demonstrate that. Okay, then you have allow only users in specific security group to share externally. Okay, we have observed that Alex is very stubborn and we want to allow external sharing as we have done here, but we don't want Alex to be able to share. This is the solution. I'll just check this. Of course, I have to uncheck this so it doesn't conflict. And then I'll go to manage security group, and then I'll add a group, but I don't think I have any. Okay, I don't have one. Okay, but maybe I should just quickly do that in the next this time is. So let's add a security group here. Security groups. Add a security group. Give it a sweet name. Only allow external sharing. Okay, that's the name. Next. No. Let's click on create group. Click on close. Okay, and let's add member to that group. Okay, so I want to add an owner first. And then you can add a member. So we have our site now has an owner. So let me go to members and let's add bands. Wait, is it JD Vance? Okay, no. He's Okay. Adele Vance. Adele Vance. Adele Vance. So she has been added to that group, and then we can come here and just I think I should refresh. Okay, so I have not saved the setting, so it still has it as it was before. So but I just want to add that option for sharing by a group. Of course, I will also need to add myself to that group. Okay, I think I'm already a member, so I should be fine. Uh, what's the name? Only allow. Okay, so can share with anyone. Can share with anyone. Unfortunately, it doesn't allow you to add more groups. What's it called? More permissions. So we can save that. And then test that out quickly. Okay, saved. Okay, so I think should we just do we need to refresh? I don't think so. So let's just go to the settings and let's see. This user does not have anyone with the link. How about this user? I think I need to refresh. Oh, I'm on his site too. Let me go to OneDrive. What's okay? So let's see what the settings are. Okay. This user also does not have anyone with the link. So I think that setting is taking a while to get updated. I hope this is saved. Let's find out. Okay, so I think it's saved. It's saved, but it's not updating here. I'm not seeing the anyone with a link option for this user. Let's see. Okay, it's not updated yet. Okay, so why? Still not updated. So while we're waiting for that, let's look at another concept we want to look at in SharePoint. So let's come to this page here, settings. So on this settings page, we are able to configure the entire SharePoint and OneDrive service. For instance, earlier in this training, our user has the option to create sites. Okay, so we don't want that any longer. You can click on this site creation where it says user can create site SharePoint site. Just uncheck it and save. Okay, and that takes that ability away. Then another thing also is in some cases you may not see the option to create a sub-site. So you may need to come to this classic settings page. You're going to open a new tab. And then, so we're looking for a setting that has to do with sub-sites. Okay, so sub-site creation. Okay, you can see it says enabled. So if I click on disable, all users will no longer be able to create a sub-site. Then if I can also decide to say, okay, I want to hide the SharePoint app. The tile will not be visible. Okay, so let's just make all of that change and then click on OK. So that has been updated. Okay, we're going to test all of these things together. Then you have the option to sync. See, so if I click on this, this is for OneDrive. Okay, so I go to OneDrive, you can disable the option whereby users are not able to sync by disabling the sync button. Say show the sync button on the OneDrive website. Okay, I've unchecked that. Allow syncing to computers. Okay, that is an advanced concept. So, but we want to also add this block upload of specific file types. Okay, block upload of specific file types. Currently, I have okay. Let's just check. Okay, we can even create PNG. Okay. It says do not include spaces, periods, or any other punctuation. So just PNG. Okay. So if I want to add another listen, I just press enter and just use which one can I add? Which other one do we have? JPG. Okay. And then I save my settings. Okay, so that's all we want to do here. I think there's one more thing I wanted to show us here. Okay, yes. Versioning, you can set versioning for your site, which you get automatically applied here. And then you have option to also select OneDrive storage for user, default storage for your users. So you can put in the default to be 5 terabytes and then save. Okay, so that means the users will automatically have that. It's not 5 terabytes. It should be 120. Yeah, this is 5 terabytes. Okay. So we have played around all the settings. Now let's see them at work. Let's see what these users can do. Let's just take a screenshot and just try to upload it. Fail to open file. What's happening? Let's see. Pictures. Come on. I took screenshots. It didn't save. The file did not save. I think I have some. Okay, we have PDF. But let me just download. I think I saw some PNG here. So I don't have start saving again. Okay, so I have this JPG and this PNG. So let's download it. Okay, it's zipping it because I selected more than one files. So I'll just unzip all of that. And let's test this quickly. Let's dump this PNG here. Okay, that has been uploaded to Alex. So I think our policy has not kicked in yet. I was thinking, this thing will come in fast. Come on. It's not ready yet. So we're still able to upload JPEG and PNG. Okay. And what else did I play around? Okay. Block the OneDrive SharePoint icon. Let's see. Okay, so our settings have not. Did I save? I think I did. Well, our settings have not kicked in yet. Our settings have not kicked in yet, so my give it some time. Okay, so you can see user still has the option to create. But when the setting kicks in, maybe I would have done this first on the call and then we'll come back to see this. Once this kicks in, the user will no longer have the create site, will no longer have this SharePoint tile, this SharePoint icon will be missing. And also they won't be able to upload file. I think we also did something here to prevent syncing on the PC. That also has not been updated. Okay, so but that's that about the settings. We don't want to sync that. And let's see if the other one has kicked in the sharing settings. Okay, this is fine for this user. Let's see. No, I want to use OneDrive. Okay, so it has kicked in for you, this user. So you can see this user has anyone with the link. This user does not have anyone with the link. Okay, so you can see. So you can see what has made that happen because of that group that we added this user. Well, we didn't add this user. User has the right to share with anyone, and this user does not have that right. Okay, so you have that option in SharePoint as well. Lastly, as we round up, is the storage metrics. Storage metrics is a feature that allows you to see the sorry, this is not an admin, so she won't have that option. So for instance, you want to see or the particular site is getting filled up, and you want to see a preview of what is eating up the storage. So how do we access that information? So that is the storage matrix. Storage matrix is what gives us that option. So if I go to my site settings for this site I created now, and I go to the site permissions page, sorry, site settings, not permissions page. So I'll go to site information and then click on view all site settings. Okay, so on this list, all I need to do is to look for storage metrics. Storage metrics under site collection administration. Here is storage metrics. So if I click on it, allow that to load. Okay, so from the name storage metrics, it provides me with information about my file. So you can see this is a document library. Of course, that's the first thing you get to see. And this is site, or this is site. So this Zurara site collection, these are all the items within it. These are all the items within it. So currently you can see that the Zurara document library is taking up a lot of space. So if I click on it, it will show me the folder that is eating up, or if it's a file that's eating up the space. Okay, so inside Zurara, I have strawberry. I don't know, I have singular files. I have vanilla. And the file that is taking up space, or rather the folder that is taking up space, is strawberry. Click on it again. Then it says there's a folder called append that is taking up space. So that is how you can drill down to access all the files. Okay, and this is what is eating up my space in the assets folder. Okay, but also in some cases you may have a file like this index like 200 GB. Why? Because of probably version history. Okay, so if I go to my um, my sales file, if I go to the version history, I should be able to see some versions. I hope it did created them. Okay, so you can see the versions I have for that file. So let's say this is the file is 200 GB. So what do you have? 200, 200, 200, 200. That's already 800 GB of storage. So you can use this guy here to say delete all versions. Okay. What that simply means that it doesn't delete the file. Okay. Only the versions. Only the versions. And versions that are deleted are deleted. It's not like you go to recycle bin and restore it. Okay. Now that takes us to the recycle bin in SharePoint. Okay, so that takes us to the recycle bin in SharePoint. So the things that we have deleted in SharePoint, we didn't delete any documents. So the things that we have deleted in SharePoint, uh, all of them, sites, web pages, they all come to the um, Okay, I don't want to delete this. If I delete this guy, my site will just crash. But let's go to the sub site. Let's delete some stuffs there. Which one should I tamper with? Let's tamper with this guy. So a site collection comes with its own document library, and its own recycle bin. So you can see this recycle bin here is different from the recycle bin. Come on, I think I've navigated away from it. It's going from the recycle bin that we have here. Okay, this is the recycle bin of the parent site, which is this Zurara. This is the recycle bin of the soft sites. Okay, I think I need to click on it. Of the soft sites. Okay, if you look at the URL, you see that it's a little bit different. Okay, I see that there's a site, there's a soft site in there. Whereas for this guy, it doesn't have that option. Okay, so the this one here holds whatever it is that is deleted from this site. Now, whatever it is, okay, so I think the version history, we'll have them here. Okay, so that's good. So if you delete them here, it goes to another stage. So it means that deletion in SharePoint is in stages. So we have what is called the first stage recycle bin. That is where these files are at the moment. We have what is called the second stage, which you are seeing here, second stage recycle bin. So what comes here are items that have been in that first stage for I've forgotten the period of data, 30 days or thereabouts. They automatically get moved to the second stage. Aside that, if you delete from here again, okay, it goes to the second stage. Okay, and then if you delete from here, then it's gone. Okay, I didn't show us that. Sorry, I'm coming very fast. So if I delete that, it says okay. So you click on delete. I go to second stage recycle bin. I'm able to see my files, and then I can start to restore or delete. If I delete here, sorry, I'm still in my first stage. Okay. If I delete now, it says if you permanently delete, you won't be able to restore it. Okay, so I want to be able to restore it, so I will cancel. But if you restore, it's going to go back to the original location. Okay, so let's restore it. Of course, it's it's a version history. Okay, so it's a version history. So basically, that is that on the cycle bin. So the deletion cycle is usually 93 days for a file. So no matter how the file has been, whether deleted or due to licensing, everything is 93 days. After that 93 days, even if it's 1 hour after, law, there is no magic you can perform. Okay, though you may still see that having your what is it called, on the office home. Where is it? So let's take questions. I think we have been able to discuss the cycle being sharing settings, storage metrics, storage reports. I won't be able to cover this again. Time has gone. Restore options. Okay, so I think we'll so you can read up the module slide to get other details. Okay. This point in time restore, I'll just show us quickly. If you go to your OneDrive, okay, so maybe this user did not want to upload this file, and there are many, and it feels that I want to go back, okay, to maybe yesterday. Okay, so you can click on this settings here, and then you see restore your OneDrive. Okay, restore your OneDrive. So if you click on it, it's going to open a view where you can choose how far you want to go. Go back to yesterday, go back to 3 weeks, or you can choose a custom time. Okay, but we just want to go back to yesterday and click on restore. So, but if I click down, you're going to tell me what's going to happen. Between that yesterday, this file was added, this was added, this was added. So I think I want to keep this, but this should go. Okay. So I'll click on restore. All changes after blah 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 will be rolled back. Go ahead, restore. So that's when you see this page, it says OneDrive is being restored. Says, does this return the file to where? Yes. So if you restore from the second stage or first stage, whatever stage, it's going to return the file to the original location. So it's not like when you restore from second stage, it now takes it to the first stage. No, it doesn't do that. Once you restore, it goes to the original location of the file. But if you delete from first stage, it goes to second stage. If you delete again, then the file will be permanently deleted. Okay. Then on OneDrive, you can also look at your storage metrics when you go to your OneDrive settings. Okay, OneDrive settings. I don't know why this guy is taking time for just 2 files. Okay, so it's limited to a few settings here, but if I click, where is it? Where's my menu? Maybe I should maximize. Okay, if I click on more settings here, okay, I have storage metrics. Now, this storage metrics is for my OneDrive. Look at the URL. Okay, it's for my OneDrive, not for the site. Okay, not for the site. And the same thing we did, you can also review as well. Okay, so that is where we draw the curtain for the SharePoint training. Thank you everyone that has participated. So let's take questions. Someone says I should give you full slides. I've done that already. Okay. You have the full slide already. I shared that with you already. Okay, so if there are no questions, I think we can call it a day then. Okay, so our restore is completed. Let's return to OneDrive. So you can see the files that were added are gone. Files that were added are gone. Okay, but let's see if that other guy has kicked in. Files that were added are gone. Okay, so that setting I have not kicked in yet. Still being processed. SharePoint is still visible. Our sync is also still there. I think that may take some time. Please send your question again. Somebody says all the files in SharePoint are being stored in OneDrive. That is not true. Okay, that is not true. All the files in SharePoint remains in the SharePoint site, and all the files in OneDrive remains in the user's personal OneDrive storage. Okay, so that is how that works. Between SharePoint and Teams, which is better for shared files and folders? Let me shock you. Microsoft Teams does not store your shared files and folders. Your shared files and folders that you're accessing in Teams are stored in SharePoint. Okay, they are stored in SharePoint. They are only brought into the Teams app where you can see them. Okay, they are stored in SharePoint. Okay, so files in Teams are stored in SharePoint. Messages in Teams are stored in Exchange Online. Okay, so channels, SharePoint creates folders. Okay, SharePoint creates folders for individual channels. Okay, SharePoint creates folder for individual channels. So if you go to the SharePoint site, every Microsoft team has a SharePoint site. So if you go to the SharePoint site, you will see the folder structure, you see all the channels that you have created, you see them. However, if you have a private channel, it will not be visible. It will be hidden. Okay, so if you have a private channel, you won't see the folder in SharePoint. It's hidden. Not that it's not there, it's there, but it's hidden because it's private. So, to maintain that privacy, the folder is decided to be hidden. Okay, I hope that clears on Teams channel and shared file. Okay, so and then lastly on that issue of file. So if you are chatting, if you and I are chatting on Teams and I share a file with you, that file gets uploaded to my OneDrive and then you can access it. Okay. However, if we are in a Microsoft Teams channel or group and I upload a file, the file gets uploaded to the SharePoint channel or SharePoint group, whichever the case may be where I am chatting the user. So every user have personal one account. Yes, every licensed user with a license that supports OneDrive has a personal, not personal, has a OneDrive account. Okay, has a OneDrive account. Okay, so someone is actually share. I shared two files for day one and day two. Okay, so you can access both of them to be able to go through or have access to the entire content.
Thank you so much, Yomi, for that. Okay, do we still have more questions? Sorry, I think. Uh,
I don't think so.
Hello. Okay, okay. Yomi, are you taking us next weekend?
No, no, that is
Uh, Teams. We're
that,
going to Teams, right?
and that will be Teams.
Wow, wow, wow. So short.
We
Hey,
are
God.
following the schedule strictly.
Okay. You're right. Though this is an intro, right? So hopefully we'll be moving on to the next topic, next quarter, next year, by God's grace,
Sure.
early next year. Thank you so much, Yomi. Really appreciate your time. Thank you for the well explained courses you've taken so far. So yeah, if you have questions, please you can direct your questions to Yomi. He would answer your questions. That's our SharePoint SME, always available 247 365. So do well to reach out to him if you have further questions. As for the slides, it's going to reshare the slides this evening. Yeah, this evening. If you have it too, you can share. You can check the WhatsApp group media. You'd see all the shared documents there, the labs, you see them there. So you can just pick it up from there instead of having to wait for Yomi. And yeah, thank you so much again for your time. I don't know if there's anyone here that is a member of the Nigeria Computer Society. I'm hoping. Okay. So I don't know if there's anyone here that is a member of the Nigeria Computer Society. If you are, please do well to vote for one of our. I think she's the leader of the textile. She's the global president of the textilers community. That's our sister community. She's been nominated for the Tech Individual of the Year. I've just shared the link. So if you're a member of the NCS, please take note. You have to be a member of the NCS before you can vote for her. So if you are one, kindly cast your vote for her as a sister community textilers global leader. I think she's the current president of that community. So kindly cast your vote for her. Thank you all so much for joining the class. We look forward to seeing you same time next week, Saturday. Just like I shared at the beginning of the class, for those of us that are yet to schedule exams, please take note. Try as much as possible to have at least 1 month full-time study preparations for your exams. Don't just go and write your exam, please. Make sure you prepare for the exams, just like you prepare for how do I put, yeah, it's a certification exam. It's not just the kind of assignment we give to you here, right? So you really need to prepare for the exams at least 1 month with at least maybe an hour or two. I'm here. Yes, I'm here. So at least in a day, spend an hour. So it depends on how fast a learner you are or how very good you are. Some people might not necessarily have to study for hours, right? So, but at least in a day, 2 hours, I don't see how you will not pass. Because if you don't study, if you don't prepare, how would you pass? You're not taking labs, you're not practicing the past questions. How would you pass? So please prepare well for your exams. What of second batch? The vouchers have been sent now, right? This we sent out the second batch, even even third batch of vouchers as at on Wednesday or early Thursday, midnight Wednesday or Thursday. You have a question. Is the voucher for any? Yes, the voucher. You can use the voucher to write any of the fundamentals exams. Oh, please hold on. Let me stop the recording. Kindly give me a minute or two, please. Yeah. So yes, the voucher can be used to write any of the